So in a month or so, these will start to be ready to harvest.
What I love about what's going on in the food industry today is everybody's talking about sustainability. Everybody's talking about eating more healthy foods, stepping away from the fast food environment. As a result of that, what was once old is now new. It's gotten new life. And that has got me excited to introduce my students to the responsibility of what food is and this kind of victory garden aesthetic that's going on. My name is David Wynne. I'm the Culinary Academic Director for the Culinary Department at the Art Institute of Seattle. When I was a boy, I grew up in a neighborhood where everyone had some form of truck garden or victory garden. The victory garden came as a result of the war effort. During World War I, World War II, everybody had a victory garden in their yard, and they utilized it within their own family unit, shared it with their next door neighbors. It was a really wonderful time, but all that sort of disappeared as urban sprawl occurred. Nowadays, I noticed the trend here in Seattle. In the last 8 to 10 years, gardens started cropping up everywhere in everybody's yard. But at the same time, I've noticed people don't always know what to do what's in the garden. What I really like seeing here is a very beautiful, very full tomatillo plant. So the idea came to me to bring my school into the community into the school, and train my students out in the field, help people to understand what they're growing and what to do with it, and show them through hands-on demos what they can do with their food. Now the hard part, cooking's the easy part. The hard part is the plate-up. There's a certain art to making a salad. I liken it to being a florist. When you put together a bouquet of flowers to send home to your husband or your wife, there's that awe moment, because everything that a florist does and wraps it up in that paper and it looks great. Salads should be handled in the same manner. So Lindsay is one of my students here, and we're gonna do a dish together.
The pop-up garden project is a wonderful idea of Chef Wynne's to get the Art Institute Culinary Arts program out into the community and help teach people what they can do with their wonderful gardens that they have growing here in Seattle. We'll travel to various gardens in the city of Seattle and do cooking preparations in the garden and use items from that garden to prepare a meal for them and show them some examples of what the Art Institute students can do, but also what they can do in their own homes. And it sort of feels a little bit like our very own tiny little cooking show. So we have to have all our mise en place ready so that we aren't fumbling around on camera, and so it makes it a little bit more exciting. My father's garden is going to be one of the gardens we visit. What better way to utilize what's literally at home for me as well as what I'm learning in school.
One of the beauties about working out of someone's yard is just the challenge of what's available in that yard and what we might be able to do with it.
I expect this project to be quite fun because we have limited equipment, and also we work in a field that we never been there before. That's why it's going to be exciting, it's going to be a fun project, a lot of challenge, a lot of conflict. We need to deal with the conflict.
Shallots. I think it's character building, that our students get placed in situations that aren't in a comfort zone, aren't necessarily the perfect environment, and get out there and deal with what's coming at them. What the project is really centered around is the fact that we have to work sustainably within the food product or produce or vegetables that are available in the moment. To show people there's a certain responsibility to eat within season, to eat high quality food. It doesn't get any higher quality than the food that they grow themselves. When we carry that attitude, it affects everything down the food chain. It affects the environment. Buy local, make local, drive your own sustainability. I think it's really great that the trend has come full circle around. What was old that I grew up with the idea of victory gardens and truck gardens, is now new again. And people are doing it again in force, working hard at it, and creating wonderful food for themselves, their families, and their communities to eat.